Hey man, what are you listening to?
Man, I'm listening to the vintage album review in the old dirty basement.
Well, turn it up, man.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural edition of
Vintage album review.
Thank you. Here we go.
And the inauguration.
I try to get everybody to jump in on that one, but,
That's right.
We'll get that next time.
We got a special guest in the house, and I felt like I should dress up for the occasion. So go on YouTube, check out our YouTube channel, Old Dirty Basement. And Nutley, what do you think of my getup?
You didn't announce the special guest.
Nutley Nick.
Nutley Nick, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on, Nutley?
A.K.A. West Virginia Nick.
Yeah.
AKA one of our biggest fans.
Happy to be here, guys.
Good.
For the premiere, the world premiere of the Vintage album review.
Yeah.
We keep on missing that. I think we're
It's fine.
we're all trying to say it together,
It's
but
fine.
we'll get
It's
there.
fine.
We'll get there.
Pushing it. So this is something that you and Zap are really talking about. I know, Zap, you love this first album as well, correct?
No. So
No? Okay.
I'm going to bring everything back into speed here. So this is the brainchild of Nutley Nick.
Okay.
This was absolutely his idea. And I say that with specificity because this is going to be fun. Like, this is a great way to move this and do something different. I mean, I think this is a great idea. Thank you. Kudos to you, Nutley. This is a great idea. Now, with respect to this particular album we will be reviewing today, it is not my particular favorite Bon Jovi album. However, to stay true to Nick's wishes, the idea is to talk about what album was a particular artist's breakout album.
Okay.
Like, what put them on the charts. And I mean, and in this one, this one made these people a worldwide success.
Nice.
And what is the album, Nutley?
Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi.
All right.
Their third studio album.
I thought we were doing New Jersey.
No, you didn't prepare.
Oh.
You can talk about that one. I mean,
I knew it was Slippery When Wet.
That's a much better album than this one, by the way.
Actually, yes. New Jersey is, I think, their best.
In my humble opinion, it is their best. I spent a lot of time with that album. I mean, months, if not years, with that album, just over and over and over again. It's fantastic. But again, this
broke them.
This broke them.
Exactly. They had all these songs that you're about to hear. You would hear them on the radio,
Yes.
which really, like you said, a breakthrough album, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Yep.
well, I'm going to get comfortable before I get into all the facts and stuff on this.
Yeah, this made them go from opening acts to headliners.
Absolutely. So curious, at the time, for whom were they opening? I know, I'm almost positive Van Halen was one of them.
They opened for Kiss also.
Nice.
Was that in Harrisburg or actually the City Island?
Don't know. I wasn't living here.
Have to look that up.
So let's get into this, I guess. Slippery When Wet. Release date on this album, August 18th, 1986. The label, Mercury and Vertigo. Did you ever hear of Vertigo Records?
No.
They're like
Mercury, I know.
Oh, yeah, I know, and I know
Mercury's
that
a big name.
They
I
were
know the
with-
song by you too. Vertigo.
Vertigo, yeah. Studio, they recorded this at Little Mountain in Vancouver, Canada. And Vancouver, is that on the east or west coast of Canada?
I couldn't tell
I
you.
think that's straight up north, isn't it?
Is it east side?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
think-
a
It's
damn
west.
thing about Canada.
I got you.
Why did they record in
Vancouver's
Canada?
all the way out west by Washington State.
Probably the same reason they do movies there. Maybe it's cheaper.
Cheaper.
Possibly
Eh?
quieter.
Could be quieter, too.
More beer, eh?
Yeah. And I guess your only competition up there is Rush. So maybe that too. I don't know. But
Brian Adams.
Yeah, Brian Adams.
Oh, okay, yeah, true.
We'll hear from him later.
Michael J. Fox.
Oh yeah, is he in a band?
Oh, no.
he
I
was.
don't-
No, he did invent that. Oh, that was Back to the Future. That's right.
Yeah, he learned how to play the guitar from
That's
Back to
it.
the Future, but he wasn't in a band.
Oh, but he was in a band
Oh.
in Light of Day.
Oh, okay.
Good movie.
Going back.
Was that
Joan
the stock car movie?
No, that was Days of Thunder.
Oh, Days of Thunder. Okay. I don't
was
get
Cruise.
confused with the names.
We're
Yeah.
all over the place.
So length on this, 43 minutes, 49 seconds. So we're used to doing the vintage cinema review. So obviously these albums are going to be a little bit less. But I do think this is kind of a short album, though, when I was looking at the track listing and stuff, which we'll get into. But
Sure.
yeah, that's pretty much all I have for that. So I'll turn it over to Zap for the band members and other fun facts.
Absolutely. So here are the band members and album contributors. We've got John Bon Jovi, lead and backing vocals, rhythm guitar, acoustic guitar. we've got Richie Sambora on all other guitars and backing vocals. We've got Alec John Such on backing vocals and bass, Tico Torres on drums, percussion, and finger cymbals, and David Bryan on backing vocals and keyboards. Additional musicians include Tom Keenlyside on saxophone, Hugh McDonald on bass for Living on a Prayer, Joni Bai on backing vocals, and Nancy Nash on backing vocals. From the production team, we've got Bruce Fairburn, producer, horns, and percussion. Now, look, I love this guy, by the way. Side topic before I go any further. I love this dude.
Bruce Fairburn.
I was first introduced to him, at least, becoming familiar with him, with his work on Aerosmith's Pump album.
What was on that Pump album? Was that like in the 90s or?
So Pump came out in 89.
Oh, 89.
Yeah.
And that was the one with, Janie's Got a Gun.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Janie got it. That was
Love in an Elevator.
yeah.
Yes, okay.
What It Takes. Great album. I probably spent as much time with that album as I did with Bon Jovi's New Jersey album. Fun fact.
Nice.
Anyway, we've also got Bob Rock, who was the engineer and in charge of mixing. First heard of Bob Rock, by the way. He produced Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue. Fun fact. Tim Critch, an assistant engineer. George Marino, digital remastering. Bill Levy on artwork and art direction. Mark Weiss on photography. And George Corsillo on design.
I thought he was in Seinfeld.
Yeah, George Corsillo.
Oh.
And Mark Weiss, I wonder if he's related to Jess. We had
Yeah.
on from
Oh,
Five
that's
Nights.
right,
And,
that's right.
and Sean, her brother, the Snowman. Last name's Weiss.
Snowman.
And that Bob Rock, is that like a Flintstones guy? Sounds like a Flintstones name.
Yes.
Tico Torres, I didn't know finger cymbals was something. I thought percussion just covered that.
You would think.
Who plays that breathalyzer thing with the
Richie.
tube?
The talk
Yeah.
talk
Talk
box
box.
Yes.
Talk
is
box.
Richie Sambora, of course, because it's connected to his guitar.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got you. So I guess that's it for that. We'll turn it over to Matt for the track listing, synopsis.
The track listing for Slippery When Wet. The first song, Let It Rock. Song 2, You Give Love a Bad Name. Song 3, Livin' on a Prayer. I thought that was living, but it is living on a prayer.
Yep.
4, Social Disease. I guess that was kind of like a filler song there. That wasn't really too big.
Not a good one.
Yeah, not a good one. 5, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Nice. Flip it over now.
Yes, side B, Raise Your Hands. Second song, Without Love. Third song, I Die for You. Fourth song, Never Say Goodbye. If you were in any dance in the 80s, it's a big one.
Big one, yeah, for sure.
And number 5, I think the worst song on this album, Wild in the Streets.
Yeah, I like the Circle Jerks version better. Wild in the Streets.
Wow.
Yeah, I played that.
Worst one on the album.
No,
Well,
Yeah.
Social
good-
Disease,
I differ.
Wild in the Streets.
I differ. There we go. I think Social Disease might be the
Yeah.
worst, but we'll get there.
So I guess that's it for the fun stuff there. I guess we'll get into the fun facts of this album. So what do you guys think? What do you got? What do you got on it? What do you want to talk about?
Well, so from the gate, I know that Nutley has. In fact, he brought with him a fun fact. We can take a look right at it. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The original cover.
Hold it up to that camera over there. That one's live right now. You can probably
yeah,
get
okay,
it.
there you go.
Get that. There it is. Yeah. I
That's-
can even put it up on screen
Yeah.
actually with the magic of editing. But yeah, you got a Japanese version of Slippery When Wet, correct?
This is
So what's
Japanese import.
what's the story behind that?
This was the original cover because the guys were recording in Vancouver and they were at a strip club and their testosterone was high. This is what I was reading, and this was one of the stripper. One
I
of the
got
strippers there.
That was her.
That was her.
Oh,
But the record company didn't think it would sell, and places would not sell it.
I got you. So they flipped from that to what, a trash bag?
A
or
garbage
something like that?
bag.
Is that what it was?
A wet garbage bag.
Yeah. And what you're not seeing out there, if you're not watching this on YouTube, the original cover is that of a woman's torso. She's wearing a wet T-shirt that reads "Slippery When Wet." In fact, the T-shirt reminds me of a Hulkamania
Yes,
yellow
Kinda.
rip away rip away T-shirt.
for sure. That's what
Actually,
it looks like.
I actually thought that was John Bon Jovi, just in a T-shirt. Like I didn't.
No chest hair though. You gotta have the chest hair pop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because he is one hairy dude.
Indeed.
I mean, as am I, so I can relate. But I don't think he did much maintenance back in the day.
Kip Winger too. He looks a little hairy.
Yeah, Kip Winger here in the studio. If you go on YouTube, or I'm sure you've seen our stuff, we have Kip Winger in the background. Very much looks like John Bon Jovi, but I could tell the difference.
It's the hair.
The
Yeah.
80s rockers all look the same.
People didn't shave back then. Everybody was hairy chested, hairy everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Use of razors didn't come in until 90s porn.
Yeah, I missed that era. You know.
How natural, as they say.
Yeah.
So what else you guys got on? Like, what are some standout tracks? Like, what do you guys like about the album, dislike about it? I got a story about it, but somebody else take it.
I mean, so I want to point this directly back to Nick. So the first thing I'm thinking of is Living on a Prayer. So incredible song, great song. Most fans consider this Bon Jovi's signature song. What would you say about that, Nick?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely their signature song, because "You Give Love a Bad Name" was one of their singles beforehand, and yeah, that was big. But they were still opening acts. But when "Living on a Prayer" came out with Tommy and Gina, it just hit home for a lot of blue collar workers in New Jersey.
Yeah,
And spoke to him.
And they blew up after that. The video on MTV was on constant replay. That made the band, that song. And John did not like the song.
that's correct.
That's funny.
That is correct. He, with their first recording of it, he hated it. He thought it was he just
didn't think it was going to be a hit.
just good enough. So fortunately,
Richie.
convinced him.
Mhm.
That's right, man. I love being able to finish your sentences, Nutley. when Sambora convinced him that it was a hit in the making, and it's we can do this, man. We can do this. The band re-recorded it, and they released that second version on the album, and that's the version we've all come to know and love.
Now, the original version is out there on a box set called 100 Million Bon Jovi Fans Can't Be Wrong. It's a hidden track. So if you have that box set, 5 CDs, I think there's a DVD in there too.
Do you have it?
I do have it. I
Okay.
should have brought it with me.
Yeah.
The track listing does not have "Living on a Prayer."
Mm. That's weird.
It's a hidden track at the end of
And it's a different version of it.
It's the original recording of
Living on.
Living
And
on a
does it
Prayer.
sound different? Like
Yes.
the whole
Yes.
arrangement and everything.
It's different.
I'd like to hear
Intrigued, Nick, is the version that we've all come to know and love. Is that featured on the box set? So to be clear,
they redid the bass line. There's different drum tracks, and that's when they used the talk box on. Well, they
On
didn't.
Living on a Prayer?
They didn't have the talk box on the original version.
I'll just get right to the chase. Are there 2 versions of that song?
There are 2 versions
within
of
the
that
box
song.
set.
On the box set, no, it's just the original.
Wow! So they didn't include on their box set the song that is the signature version of that song.
Probably not.
Wow, that's amazing. I have to check out that box set.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, why would they have it if you're buying that? You probably have "Living on a Prayer" somewhere.
So
know
you
what I'm
would
saying?
think that, but there are countless compilation albums out there. I mean, you'll hear different versions of different songs. I mean, look at songs that were done original recordings, then they were done, let's say, acoustically, or a live version somewhere that might even be better than the original.
Right.
They completely exist. You might, in fact, find those. You may.
So Matt, what was your first experience with his album? Like, do you remember back then?
Yeah, I remember this. It was a big one. The thing I have with "Living on a Prayer." Now, did they write this song, or was it written for them, or was this a written by Sambora, written by
Desmond Child helped. He was
Okay.
a huge writer, did a lot of bands. He helped out with "Bad Name," "Without Love," "I'd Die for You," and then "Prayer."
Yep.
But he also helped write. He has a book out too. I just got it for my son.
He worked with
Okay.
Cher, I think, too. I saw that.
Kiss wrote some songs with them.
See, because a lot of these songs, like you hear these and you think it's like an anthem of these guys growing up hard like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he
They
had
wrote
that
it like
hard job, like the union's on strike, all this stuff. She's working there trying to support him. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, I thought Springsteen was like a real like New Jersey guy in that sense, but he never had to experience half the shit he sings about.
Right. So he's writing from not really from a real place.
not writing from a real place, just getting songs made for you. But I think when you hear this anthem, you kind of relate to John Bon Jovi as being like growing up like that, or
He's
like
a working class hero.
yes, working
Right,
class
right.
hero. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, Zap might know this question.
Go for it.
Tommy and Gina, "Living on a Prayer."
Yeah. Real people.
They were also mentioned in another later Bon Jovi song. Do you know which one?
Like Tommy and Gina, you never back down. It's on the New Jersey album. I can tell you that.
It is not.
It is.
It is not.
Are you sure?
100% positive.
Okay. Well, then
It's on this album.
Give me a second.
Is it You Give Love a
Wait,
Bad Name?
wait. Are you sure it's
No, wait.
not? It's My Life.
It's My Life.
Oh, okay.
Well, then shit, you're right. That it's not on this
not on
album,
Bon
and
Jovi.
it's not on. It's not on New Jersey. Yeah, it is on the. It's my. What album?
One of their crappier ones.
No, one of their better ones. Damn, I'm drawing a blank.
It came out in the '90s. Hell.
See, I don't know Bon Jovi.
Is it
like
with
that, so I
long hair
can't
Bon
really-
Jovi or short hair Bon Jovi?
Short hair.
Okay. That's why I don't know it. I kind of lost touch
Yeah,
with the Bon
So
Jovi.
that also, but you know what? I'm wrong. It did not come out in the '90s. The one that Crossroads came out in the '90s, and that was a quasi compilation album. It's My Life came out in the definitely in the 2000s. Fun fact, that song also incorporates a talk box.
It's My Life, though.
It sure does.
I know the song. I didn't,
Indeed.
I don't know the album or anything like that.
Fun fact, since we're talking about back to Living on a Prayer, that song is actually rated #1 on VH1's list of the 100 greatest songs of the 80s.
Oh, for real? Living on a Prayer.
For real.
Because it tells a story. That was great about the song, I think.
Nutley,
It's on the album Crush,
Crush, which came out whenever.
2000,
There you go. Thank you for helping me walk that one through.
which also has my ultimate favorite Bon Jovi song on it. on
What?
Crush. Yes.
Which one?
Captain Crash and the Beauty Queen from Mars.
Ooh, wow.
Never heard it.
That is a
Love that song.
that is a special one.
My favorite
You know
one.
that one?
No,
No, I don't know that one either.
no. That sounds like something. That sounds like something the Beatles threw away.
It's a good song.
Okay,
So
I
for,
trust you.
for me, man, this like when this album or this is they're playing this on the radio big time back in when it first came out. I don't know when did this like really hit? Like Living on a Prayer and all that. I'm assuming came out. I just have memories of like being in. I was probably 10, 11 at the time.
So the first single was "You Give Love a Bad Name." So if the album came out in '86, "You Give Love a Bad Name" was the first single for '86.
But for me, the one that really like I remember like was all over the place was "Living on a Prayer," which would have came out probably. I mean,
That was their
obviously that was the second one.
In fact, that was their second single.
So you think that would have been in the '87 then, or because
It was late 86, 87.
in
Because they were
87.
when Slippery came out, they were still an opening act.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm.
I have a ticket stub from my first Bon Jovi show.
Yes.
August 7th, 1987 in New Jersey.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
So that's when they had started.
Nutley was 8 years old.
dude. That's awesome.
How old were you there, Nutley?
15.
Oh wow.
A young kid. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't far off.
I was there
That's
with my
awesome.
sister, and
Yeah.
there was a bunch of her friends there.
So what I was going to get back to is I remember there was a girl that, I was like, I said, probably 10 or 11. And your boyfriend, girlfriend, but you're not really. And she was way into Bon Jovi. And I remember walking up to her house. She was like talking about Bon Jovi, how, and she gave me the cassette. And I wasn't into that kind of music at all. But Living on a Prayer was on the radio or whatever. And I liked that song. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll check out the rest of the album. I did like some, most of the other songs on there. One of which ended up being one of the movies I love, Young Guns. The one in Dead or Alive.
That's
that
what I'd say
soundtrack.
was one of the biggest ones I
That
knew
wasn't
from this
Young
album.
Guns.
It wasn't in Young Guns
No,
too?
that wasn't a Young
No,
Guns.
Younger. The song you're thinking of is a John Bon Jovi solo song. and
Oh, Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's where he was shot down.
So
in the
One of
Blaze
Dead
of
or Alive
Glory.
was not in that movie.
It
No.
was
Was
not.
Wow. In
Was it-
my memory banks,
It was featured in. Well, we'll get to it. We'll
Yeah.
get to it.
Mandela Effect. But anyway, that was like my first experience really with this as an album. I probably would have never discovered any of these other tracks other than her giving me that cassette. But there again, like I said, this is not really my wheelhouse. So you talk any other Bon Jovi, I'm pretty much lost on it.
Mm.
But I would say though, at the time, this was huge Bon Jovi that summer. I mean, I'm sure Zap, you remember Matt
Of course.
around here. I mean, anywhere you went.
I was 10 years old at the time, but I mean, it's even then it was all over the place.
Right.
I think
Just,
it's when
just think about growing up in Jersey, where he's from.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
It
can
was
imagine.
everywhere.
Huge.
Radio stations, MTV, everywhere.
Do you think you like Bon Jovi so much because of that? Do you think you would love them as much as you do if they weren't from New Jersey? Like, or do you think that just enhances it for you? Does it make a difference?
Doesn't make any difference
Doesn't
to me.
make a difference.
Yeah.
Like Springsteen's from Jersey.
Right, but you don't like
I still like the music.
right, but you're not like a
He
huge
could have been
fan.
from California. I don't care.
Right.
Are you saying you don't like Springsteen?
Oh, I love Springsteen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Like he's not one of my favorites, but I dig like a lot of his songs.
But like some things, like the one video Bon Jovi's video for from 7800 Fahrenheit.
Yep.
Drawing a blank. Damn it. Zap, help me out here.
I'm trying, dude. I've got the same blank.
The video on MTV, they're filming at Seaside Heights on the boardwalk,
At the boardwalk.
in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
With Snooki.
I've spent many days down there, like right where they film this video.
Yeah.
In and Out of Love. That's the name of the video.
Oh, thank you. There it is. Thank you.
So it kind of like, him being from Jersey, from the Jersey Shore, and yeah, it hits home a little bit. I could relate.
Right.
So who's bigger, as in saying that they're from Jersey? Would it be JBJ or would it be Springsteen?
Springsteen's been around longer.
So who's the
So-
bigger artist? That'd
That's
be
a tough one.
to
Yeah,
say too.
that's a
Different genre of music.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
when you
true.
say bigger, is it bigger fan base? Is it bigger album
I'm
sales?
thinking like as
Is
far
it-
as New Jersey's, like who do they love the most? New Jerseyans.
Yeah, that'd be a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one because Sinatra's also from Jersey.
I was gonna
Also
say.
So
true.
there's another one.
I was gonna say name a third band or artist from New Jersey.
There you go.
Frank
How about a
Sinatra.
fourth one?
Jesus, come on now.
Trickster.
Trickster.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
Love
they're,
don't- ooh, Trickster. Love don't come easy.
Love that cereal.
they're not competing.
Love Don't Come.
Tricksters are for kids.
Yeah, that's right. What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Trickster from Paramus, New Jersey.
Oh wow.
Are you sure Love Don't Come Easy was not Trickster?
That was White Line.
No.
Ooh,
Yes.
Isn't he a reggae dude?
no, White Line.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
never heard of-
God damn it, Nutley. You're right. That is White Lion.
You never heard of White Lion, Dave? Seriously?
Sure
I
you
heard
have.
the name.
Oh,
White Lion.
okay.
I thought he was like a reggae artist. So
No,
that's like a
that's,
metal.
Mike Tramp is the lead singer.
Mike Tramp.
He still makes music. He's from Denmark, and he does a lot of stuff over there.
By far and away, though, the greatest talent in White Lion has to be Vito Bratta. Without
One of the
question.
best guitarists.
He is a virtuoso.
Well, When the Children Cry, I remember that was like in 1988 or 89.
That's Mad Lion.
No.
Wow. Wow.
Mad Lion is the reggae guy.
Yeah, that's it. I know a girl like that.
Yeah, that's Mad Lion.
Yeah, that's
White
that's
Lion.
White
I know
Lion.
that song.
White
you
Line
said
is
that.
what? Yeah, When the Children Cry was
When
big.
the
When we were probably in like
children
8th grade,
cry.
7th or
Yeah.
8th grade.
I know
Yeah.
that one. Yes.
Man,
okay.
this train is way the fuck
That's
off the
okay.
track.
Hey, no, we're going with music.
Did you know-
Anything music related
Yeah, whatever.
is
That's
a
it.
go.
Has anyone seen the movie Disorderlies?
Yes.
Is that
You
starting the
have.
Fat Boys?
That's what,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Now, there is a song that was recorded for Slippery When Wet that didn't make it on there.
Yep. I saw that.
Made by the Fat Boys?
No,
by Bon Jovi.
That wouldn't have fit in on that album.
they wouldn't have made it.
It would have. It's a song that, yeah, it should have been on there.
I have
And
to
it
look
was
that
in the
up.
movie. It's in the movie Disorderlies. It's called Edge of a Broken Heart.
Hmm.
You were just,
I
you know,
listened
saying
to
you
it.
were just listening to it. It fits the mold for Slippery When Wet.
It would have fit in there perfectly. I love that movie, Disorderlies. I remember the night before, I think it would have been 6th grade. I couldn't sleep that night because you know how the first day of school you can't sleep. And I
Mhm.
stayed up and watched Disorderlies till like 2 a.m. or whatever. The Fat Boys. That was a good flick.
Was it like some old dude try to get their money? Or
Yeah, they were like They were working in like a
they were like
a nurses
nursing.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good flick.
that was
Nutley. That song, Edge of a Broken Heart, that's not to be confused with the same song,
No,
the song of the
no.
same name done by Vixen, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
cool. Living on the Edge of a Broken
Vixen.
Heart. That one.
That
No, the name of the song is Edge of a Broken Heart.
No,
by
I think
Vixen.
is that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
the song by Vixen is incredible. I am not familiar, however, with the Bon Jovi version
Mm.
at all, or I should say the Bon Jovi song at all. But fun fact, speaking of Bon Jovi songs, and in fact, Bon Jovi songs that are on this album that, oh, holy shit, we're reviewing, there is a song on there called You Give Love a Bad Name. So this was the first single.
one.
This was the first single off of this album. That song was originally recorded by Bonnie Tyler under a completely different title with completely different lyrics. Same
Yeah.
song, just completely different lyrics. And the title was If You Were a Woman and I Was a Man.
Yeah, so that was what Desmond Child. He had written it and tweaked
That's
it
right.
for him. Okay.
He
Or
actually
tweaked it for Bon Jovi.
he did that with Bonnie Tyler, and she released it, and it flopped. And he took that song that he had helped to write, took it back, and said, "Hey, hey Richie, hey John, let's rework this song, and maybe it could be a hit for you." And they did, and for damn sure it was.
Was she country or something?
No, that was Total Eclipse of the Heart, right?
Bonnie Tyler, country.
No.
What did she sing?
Total Eclipse of the Heart?
Bonnie Tyler did yeah, thank you. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Okay.
She did It's a Heartache. She did I Need a Hero.
Looking out for a hero.
Yeah,
Oh,
Looking Out for a
okay.
Hero.
Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I knew that first song that I named, but I don't know that any of those other ones. But yeah, I did read that, what you were saying about that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
man, that's wild as hell.
Yeah.
Mm.
So standout tracks on this, Nutley, what are we looking at? Like, how do you rate these songs on here? Like, if somebody, I should say, if you were to introduce somebody to Bon Jovi, would you tell them to start on "Living on a Prayer"? Would you tell them to start at?
Well, that's their signature song, "Living on a Prayer." Now, I've heard that version, 500,000 times. I like the version. There was a concert that they did. It's called Inside Out. You can find it on YouTube. Different concert clips from the Meadowlands Stadium before it was MetLife, London, and Madison Square Garden. So Inside Out, the "Living on a Prayer" version it's a live version, not a studio. Phenomenal. But that's their signature song. So yeah, someone who's never heard Bon Jovi before, personally, I would go with later albums. But if we're doing this album,
right, from this album,
"Living on a Prayer." But my favorite on here is "Wild in the Streets."
That's funny. So that's your favorite, and Matt, that's your least favorite.
It's a good, Jersey tune. Like "Without Love," I wish that wasn't even on the album.
What do you mean by good Jersey tune? Like, you got to be like kind of drunk, or like
blue collar hard workers.
Okay.
Just on the way home from work,
yeah,
pickup truck. You know
yeah.
what I mean, do you drive pickup trucks in New Jersey, or?
I didn't.
No. What's like the car of choice in Jersey?
An IROC Z.
80. Okay, 80s.
Nice.
Like
IROC Z28.
Hell yeah.
Like a Pontiac or a Buick or something. No.
Something with T-tops.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, like the opening song, "Let It Rock," wasn't too not one of my favorites.
No.
But
isn't that the one that starts kind of like
with the keyboards,
like a church?
And they're like, "Let it rock, let it rock."
That was the opening song when they toured.
Yep.
And it was just David Bryan, his real name is David Rashbaum.
Fun fact.
Didn't know. Bryan is his middle name. But that was just him on the stage, just playing that intro and it was just cool with the lights and the smoke. And then they went into "Let It Rock" the whole song. But it was a cool intro to a concert.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So when you say "Let It Rock" and the way that they recorded that, of course, like with that huge keyboard intro, that is a great intro. And of course, that makes a great deal of sense. They did something very similar for the New Jersey album. Again, just a very long, I should say elongated intro into a song when they did "Lay Your Hands on Me," right? So as I'm listening through this album and being reminded of this album, I took a look at "Raise Your Hands." I think
another good live song.
But now, while that's an incredibly great live song, I bet I've never seen it, but I think that could have been a contender for being the first song on this album. I'm saying, like, if you eliminate from "Let It Rock," if you eliminate that prolonged keyboard intro, I think that "Raise Your Hands" could have been absolutely a contender for the first song. So when you're laying out an album, there's the concept, it's called sequencing, right? Mm-hmm. So if they have 10 tracks, you sit around and, okay, these are the 10 that's got to be on the album. In what order are we going to place these songs? So, like, think of a DJ, right? So a DJ does the same thing every time that DJ plays his tracks. Like, he's not going to play 10 slow songs back to back to back to back to back. He's going to break it up. Same reason you don't have the 3 power ballads in this album back to back to back. Right. You want to shake it up a little. So, yeah, "Raise Your Hands" just has that, much like "Let It Rock." Both of them are energetic. They get you excited. They get
you psyched.
They do, yeah. Both of them showcase the hell out of John's voice. Both of them make a great deal of use of a signature move of Bon Jovi's, and that's just the use of "whoa" and "oh," like repeatedly, over and over. You just have to think in your head, like, this is something you can sing along to in the shower, in the car, at a concert. They use "whoa" and "oh" so very much, and it's for that reason. It's to get that listener truly involved with the song.
"Whoa" and "oh."
Yeah.
This was from Spaceballs too, right?
Also featured in Spaceballs. That's right.
Yeah.
Bartholomew is dancing along to this song while in whatever the name of their
Spaceballs 1.
Winnebago is not Spaceballs 1.
No.
Winnebago 1.
Winnebago 1.
Right. I don't know if it had a name.
Whoa. Joey Lawrence.
So it's great to I think go back to an album like this, or I think many of the Bon Jovi albums as a whole, you really get to hear that tried and true. This is how a rock song in the 80s is laid out. It's, verse, bridge, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus,
Guitar
solo, chorus. That's it. And then maybe an outro. And that's it. Like, that's exactly that is the recipe for every 80s song. Verse, chorus, bridge. I'm sorry. Verse, bridge, chorus, solo, chorus, end. And it worked. It worked like hell for these guys.
It worked for a lot of bands that way.
Hell yeah. Man, hell yeah.
Of the hair bands from the 80s, is Bon Jovi the biggest? Was Motley Crue bigger? Was, I'm trying to think.
I'd say Bon Jovi's
I
bigger.
would definitely say Bon Jovi. Motley Crue didn't hit it, and I mean big, until Dr. Feelgood came out. I'm not saying they didn't have hits. They certainly had some singles.
Yeah, Theater
and whatever.
of Pain was kind of a bust.
Theater of Pain without Home Sweet Home, that album was a throwaway album.
But Dr. Feelgood, yeah, that was their first one they wrote not being drunk or high.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
They were
correct.
straight.
Yeah, but like Bon Jovi's like pop rock. Kinda.
Yes, yeah.
It's not really what I think a lot of the other hair bands were going for.
Well, that's exactly it, Matt. I wouldn't have, like, in the 80s, a kid that was like more into rap and R&B and whatever else like that. Motley Crue I didn't really get into until high school. I kind of liked a couple tracks. But Bon Jovi pulled me in because you said it was kind of poppy. Even though it was rock, it was catchy. And like Zab was saying, that whoa and oh. And then it makes sense that I would say their music's a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, or makes it easy to like, or like,
Generic?
not generic. I don't mean it like that. I just mean it like,
It keeps a format. Like, you can set your watch to it. Verse, bridge, chorus. Verse, bridge, chorus. Guitar
Right.
solo, chorus, out.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. That is the tried and true recipe of every 80s rock song.
also Motley Crue would be a little heavier, a little more edgy.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
way they
Well,
dress.
No, a lot back then too. A lot of producers and stuff. I mean, the industry's about making money, and if you can get songs on the radio, you get more listeners, you make more money.
Right.
So whatever they can get to be radio friendly is what a lot of producers, a lot of bands were doing at the time.
Who's better looking, John Bon Jovi or Bret Michaels?
John Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
JBJ, good looking dude.
Yeah, Bret Michaels took a man.
No, I'm talking about back then.
No, I mean Bon Jovi was on Sex and the
back
City.
then,
Like
Yeah.
he
I
dated
think-
like some hot chicks.
Bret Michaels had more makeup on.
Yeah, well, sure. When you take a look what the cat dragged in,
Oh, yeah.
they're all dressed like chicks. Every single one of them. Brett, Bobby, Ricky, Cece, they're all dressed like women. Like they look like dudes in drag.
Do you think they got more?
But that's a great album. I love Look What the Cat Dragged
Look
In.
at-
I couldn't agree more. It's a great album. But they, back on track on the topic, they dressed and looked like chicks. I don't think Bon Jovi ever looked like chicks.
No, they
Not
didn't wear
like that,
makeup.
Who are
no.
you talking about? Poison?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Poison.
Poison.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think, like, because Bon Jovi was a sex symbol. I remember back then, like, my one cousin Sharon loved, oh, he's so gorgeous. All the girls love Bon Jovi. You know what I mean?
They
'Cause
still do.
They still do.
Yeah.
But Bret Michaels and Poison got that treatment, too, that I remember of the rock bands. I mean, a lot of them guys did, I guess.
Sure.
But
Well, Motley Crue was coming out around that time
Well,
too, like trying to make it.
doesn't that
True.
define the whole genre of
Hair metal.
glam
Yeah.
that's what you're trying
glam
to do.
metal? Yeah, I mean it's glam. It's that. What can we do that's shocking? What's going to be provocative? Well, I'm
Mhm.
going to be a dude, put makeup on, and dress like a chick.
Yeah, Motley
Yeah.
Crue did the same thing.
Sure did. They absolutely did.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
Nikki Sixx would play sets on speedballs, and the guy's still here. So
Still here,
whatever
yeah.
he's doing,
Yeah.
I want two of those.
yeah.
Good diet, yeah. But I guess like the one of the originators maybe of that, where they're kind of feminine, maybe not feminine, but like just is like maybe like Led Zeppelin, like he kind of had that style. Robert Plant.
No.
I mean he kind of looked. He would wear tight clothes and that. And,
No, that
and the
was
hair.
rock and roll though. Like back then, that wasn't like
Yeah.
any kind of glam, any kind of.
not glam, but just like the almost like
What did Zap? You're a huge Zeppelin fan. Do you think?
I see where Dave's going with this, and there's almost so
I mean, his jeans were tighter, like they were like a third grade
Well,
girl's
he-
jeans, but
Robert Plant
But that was the
Yeah.
style.
Yeah,
thing
that
then.
was what they
You know,
did
the
in the
bell bottoms,
70s.
at
Yeah.
the
hip
height
huggers.
of Zeppelin, I think Robert Plant really pushed the boundaries of androgyny,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
but he never put off.
like a feminine.
like a
vibe.
yeah, he
Correct.
wasn't wearing
No, no,
lipstick
I-
and
no,
eyeshadow
no,
or any of that.
No, neither did Bon Jovi. I was just saying that.
Yeah, Bon
exactly
Jovi's not in that. They're not in that category.
No,
like they're
no,
not a
no.
glam rock band. They're just a rock band.
No.
Hair metal.
Hair metal.
Hair metal.
So speaking of hair metal, track 2 on this album.
You said track 2.
Track 2.
Track 2. So You Give Love a Bad Name. We talked about this. This was their first single. This is a known classic. So if you've never heard the album, you for goddamn sure have heard You Give Love a Bad Name. Now, look, I love this track. I love it. It's not my favorite on the album, but I love it. Reminds me a lot of the track before it, Let It Rock. Follows the same format. I love the harmonies in this song. And for every chorus, love the harmonies. Like, you really hear Richie Sambora coming out in this. Fantastic solo, incredible solo. Like, you can hear the finger work. It's unbelievable. This is another trick of the trade in this track, and You Give Love a Bad Name. The chorus following the solo, this is one of those climactic bridges or ends or choruses that follows a guitar solo where you take out all of the instruments, right? It's only silent with the exception of a voice that's singing it, and in this case, a drum that's just beaten. That's all you hear. And then at the end of that, bam, all the instruments come all back at once, and it's just climactic, for lack of a better word. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Thoughts, anybody?
It's also in the show How I Met Your Mother.
I Met Your Mother.
There's an episode where Barney has a Get Psyched mix, and You Give Love a Bad Name is the only song that you hear from his CD that he made that it gets him psyched.
Better backing vocals.
All you hear is Shot Through the Heart, and that's all you hear in the episode.
Yep.
But they play it over and over again.
What would you guys say would be better on the backing vocals? Would it be Sambora or Michael Anthony?
Michael Anthony.
So easy.
With respect to range, for sure, Michael Anthony.
Good call.
However.
Good call.
However.
Richie can sing. His solo album is really good.
Richie can for damn sure sing.
Yeah, he can sing.
However, the Michael Anthony has a greater range, but the songs that Richie is singing to are far more melodic. And that's, in my opinion, just because they have a fifth member. They have a keyboard. Or, well, I guess they had that in Van Halen, but there is a fifth member going on. And when you have 5 guys playing versus 4 at the same time, you have more opportunities for melodies and for completely different directions to take a song. So I would say, given the song, how about this? I'd love to hear Michael Anthony's voice singing back up.
Okay, I get you.
For a Bon Jovi song.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And David Bryan, he's got some good pipes too, backing vocals.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
I guess we're not really doing apples to apples here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're kind of mixing it up a little bit. But
Sure.
it just popped into my head. Like, I was thinking like backing vocals.
Yeah,
Michael Anthony.
Harmonies.
Yeah, but I can get what you guys are saying with like the.
I would go with Michael Anthony on that one though.
100%. But equally, so like Michael Anthony is the one that any Van Halen song you're hearing where you hear a harmony that's higher than the vocal. That's Michael Anthony. He's hitting every single one of those highs. Sambora does the same thing.
True.
He's at a higher octave or a higher note or a harder hit note than John Bon Jovi almost every time. He's incredible.
Just talent. They're all talented. You make it this far. You got to have some kind of talent.
Something.
I mean, in the 80s, nowadays, I mean, it's whatever. They have all kinds of things to mix your voice or do whatever they need to do. But
Auto-tune.
Yes.
So who was Bon Jovi linked to, like, famous-wise, like, romantically? Because I know, like, we were talking about this is when they were at their would you say this is their peak, Slippery When Wet, or have they gone up since then? I don't know. Like for
no,
me,
he got really big. He was like an actor for a time.
Okay.
Like John Bon Jovi was on Sex and the City. He was on like a couple different movies.
U571. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
he
was in that. Yeah.
Was he been married this whole time?
That's a
He's
submarine
been
one.
married to his high school sweetheart since Slippery When Wet came out.
Okay, so
Correct.
he hasn't been on
Dorothea.
the line. Okay, I got you.
Correct.
So he was probably living at this time when they're on tour for Slippery When Wet.
You heard no scandal stories in the news about him.
Richie was
He's
the
just
one.
a good dude.
Richie was the one with like Heather Locklear and all
Yep.
that. Right.
Cher, I think.
Well, Heather
was linked
Locklear
to.
got around.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. Third track on the album, Living on a Prayer. So we've talked about this. This is their signature song. And if Nutley isn't going to tell me otherwise, I will happily say that, yeah, this is their signature song.
Nope.
Second
Okay,
single.
no.
Now, this is, in my opinion, when I hear it, it is very, very similar to You Give Love a Bad Name. I was surprised that this was the second single. in hindsight, right? So not when I'm 10 years old when this comes out.
Similar in sound, you mean? Or what?
They sound very similar. They both have the exact same tempo.
Oh, wow.
You hear so much of the same, again, the same things, the verse, bridge, chorus, chorus. But what makes this song stand out, in my professional opinion, is the catchy hooks and the chord progression, especially in the first measure of each bar of each chorus. The way that, again, the notes progress in each chorus is different than, it's more dynamic, or it's more diverse. That's not the word I'm looking for. There's just more to it than you would otherwise find in
More
You Give Love a Bad Name.
extravagant.
There you go, extravagant. There's just essentially there's more notes and there's more changes. But the real change, what makes this song their signature standout one, is the key change in the final chorus.
Are we still talking about Living on a Prayer?
Yeah.
Okay.
That key change in that final chorus is really what makes this song just stand out. Like, Nutley, I can't imagine being at a Bon Jovi concert and being in that crowd when they get to this last chorus. And again, the key of the song changes. It's higher. Everybody's got to be hyped and just losing their minds. No?
Oh, definitely. Unfortunately, like with everybody, John's been doing it for how many years?
Sure.
He can't hit those high notes
Hell
anymore.
no.
So the crowd sings that part. He doesn't.
Ah,
He lets the crowd sing the,
yeah.
we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Because, he can't hit those high notes, and I don't expect him to after, he's 60-some years old.
Yeah.
We all can't do things like we used to.
That's right.
That's where I thought we were more than halfway there, but we're only on track 3.
Well, no, look, so this is the inaugural episode, right? We want to do this justice, right? We want to do as much as we can. But it's fortunate now we've already hit 2 of the singles, and there were only 3 or 4 on here, so we're getting through this. And in fact comes the 4th track on this album, Social Disease. In my opinion, this is a throwaway song. This was filler at best.
It was filler, and it should have been Edge of a Broken Heart. Listen to that song. You will enjoy it.
Fun fact on that, Living on a Prayer. My wife thought it was back when she was a kid, living on a prairie.
Interesting.
Like Little House.
Yeah, she was 7 though. Probably
Yeah, it's true.
Fun fact, when I was a little kid in grade school, we were talking about grade school just before we started recording. So going in Catholic school, as a little kid, I had this dream that one of the nuns that was teaching me, that I was at this concert and she was singing this song.
Living on a Prayer.
Yes, absolutely. So she's now since passed. Her name was Sister Joanne. And
Nice.
I swear to God, I had this dream that she was singing this song.
Sister Joanne Bon Jovi.
Funny thing of what Zap was saying. Do you guys remember that song? It's like, touch me, I want to feel your body.
Samantha
Yeah,
Fox.
Yeah. So anyway, we were at this, a friend of mine, Matt, I don't know if you knew Matt Golden. Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a picture of you and Matt Golden.
We did this whole thing and made it to, like, I think it was at Millersville University for like some religion. You had to make like a song up or whatever. So they had like these girls come out. Like, I don't know. We were like checking them out. They must have been in 8th grade or something. I think we were in like 6th at the time. They did that song like, touch me, I want to feel God's blessing. His heartbeat.
Oh my God, that's scandalous.
Yeah, there was. Like at that time, we're like, oh man, they're really singing to that.
They can't
Yeah.
do
But
that.
they like changed the whole lyrics and stuff.
You
Like,
can't take a Samantha Fox song and turn it into a
Very
religious
religious.
song.
I want to feel God's blessing. And I was like,
That's funny, dude, because we should do that as a game. Like see if you can turn tracks religious by like
well, that's what that was done in South Park. Remember, if you just
I
take
don't
if you
remember
take
that.
any kind of like baby or anything and just put God's name in it, you can make a song.
There
You
you
can make
go.
any type of Christian
religious
song.
I
Yeah,
gotcha. That's pretty funny.
we would. I mean, I bet we could do that. We could try that.
That's just hilarious.
Yeah,
That's what when you said it just reminded me of it. It's funny.
that's a good one.
So a good friend of the show, Hawk, he actually did that inverted. What we just said.
You
So
take them and make it satanic.
he would take a nice happy religious song and just turn it into something else. As a for example, there is a Christian song out there. I don't think we coming up ever did it. It's called He Believes in Me, 'cause he believes in me.
Yeah.
Right. So he changed that to I got the weed in me.
That's cool.
Right. That's just what he would do. Anyway, shout out to Hawk for that.
Hawk.
Good job, Hawk.
Thanks, Hawk, for
Hawk.
ruining Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost there. We're almost done with the first side. The fifth and final track on the first side of this sweet cassette in your back pocket is Wanted Dead or Alive. Now, this is the third single, the third released single off of this album. It is, in fact, the first power ballad on the album. I mean, what rock album doesn't have power ballads? This is the first one featured. Admirable, and I mean very admirable guitar work on the part of Sambora. This is the first track on the album that breaks the simplicity of a song and really just adds or showcases his talent. The standalone acoustic guitar in the first verse really helps the forthcoming build-up. When the chorus starts to add subtleties, followed by a verse that adds more instruments, then by the final verse in this song, I mean, everybody's all in, right? I mean, you know how this builds up. You've all heard this song, Wanted Dead or Alive. Everybody knows it. Dave might call it Blaze of Glory, but it's actually Wanted Dead or Alive.
Another one of their signature songs.
100%.
Yeah.
So this one is, if Living on a Prayer is number one, this one is 1 point. Yeah, this is right there. Thank you. Exactly what I was going to say. It's not even 2. It's the closest possible rider you could possibly imagine. I think that Sambora's voice really came out well in this one. You hear him like when John will say, you know, I'm wanted, and you hear Sambora wanted. Yeah, it's things like that again really just show, or I should say, enable the listener to hear what an incredible talent Richie Sambora is.
This is probably my favorite song on this album.
Nice.
Wanted Dead or Alive.
Nice.
Yeah, I like this song too, for sure.
The power ballads always got me. Yeah.
I've seen a million faces.
Yeah.
And I've rocked them all.
And this is one of those songs that is made for a live show. This is absolutely that thing that gets the crowd involved. Now, this one uses catchy lyrics instead of whoa or oh, like we talked earlier. Like, this is the one, perfect example. And I've rocked them all. You just you can close your eyes.
That's when the lights go down.
Yeah.
They go out to the crowd. I've seen a million faces, and then the house lights come on.
Yep, and everybody's
rocked them
arms are up in the air screaming, and I rocked them all. I mean, this is just that song.
Wonder if he's seen a million faces when he wrote that.
Well, it's fun fact. His writing this song was actually inspired by his love of the Old West, and he correlated his love of the Old West to actually being in a rock band of musicians, like being in a band of outlaws. So when he did that correlation, it's like, well, look, man, you know, these outlaws are out there trying to rob trains or banks or do whatever, like before the sun comes up or before noon, or, you know, I do my killing before noon or whatever, anything like that. He would correlate his experience as being in a rock band. Like, these guys are on the fucking road. It's hard work. You're traveling all over the place constantly, be it a bus, a plane, a train, you name it. You're always on the move, and you're getting so much stuff in, and hell, even sometimes drinking that early in the morning, just maybe because you just finished the night before. So that's, from what I understand, that's where this song came about. Also, this song was influenced by Bob Seger's "Turn the Page."
Very similar.
Yeah, I can see that. Now you say that.
This song's been in a lot of places, but as of late, it's certainly you're going to hear it all of the time as the theme song for Deadliest Catch.
Oh, what is that on?
Discovery Channel.
Okay.
Oh, so the next song on this album, right after Wanted Dead or Alive, Raise Your Hands.
Yes.
Yeah, you were saying about that. You said that should have been number one.
I think it was I was certainly not the one to pick out. I'm guessing it was Bruce Fairburn that ultimately picked the sequencing of the songs. I just think that Raise Your Hands could have been a contender for being number one.
But Let It Rock is the A side number one.
Yep.
Raise Your Hands B side number one. It's kind of like it might have been a coin flip.
That's fair. So you know that you make a very good point on that. It is in fact the number one on the B side. So all right,
they're the exact same song, just different side.
Yeah,
pretty much.
This one really stuck out with me because of the repeated harmonics you hear from Sambora's guitar at the end of almost every measure of every verse. I wish we had the legal cojones and we paid enough to pay for the royalties to play these songs. But at the end of each measure, you just hear a harmonic. It's the same harmonic that comes out of Richie's guitar. It's classic 80s. It's fantastic Bon Jovi. And again, over and over, I do love Richie Sambora, and he really showcases himself in this song. I love the chord. In so many of the other songs, when you hear the verse, bridge, chorus, it's consistently the same. This one sticks out really well because there's a chord progression change for the solo. So while the solo is typically going to be in place of a verse, the actual music behind it changes, which is great. So it's like, whoa, this is like it's like a warp zone for the song. It's like the underground part of Super Mario Brothers. Like there's the whole world that's operating on top, but then there's this, this second part of it that nobody knew about. So I don't know. I just like that. Nutley, what did you think about this track?
It's a great live song. Every time I hear it, I remember when I took my older son, who is a big Bon Jovi fan also, AT, he was getting into it. You think, a teenager, not, going to be with his father at a concert. He's just going to be like, but he was, raise your hands, and he was really getting into it.
Yeah, It's awesome. Matt, in addition to hearing it on Spaceballs, do you have any fondness for this track?
I liked it on Spaceballs. Like I don't remember like being a kid running around singing like "Raise your hands on me, raise your hands on me."
No, so
Well,
wait now.
let's lay your hands.
That's lay your hands on me.
Well, whatever the hell it was.
Enter Sandman.
No, exit light, enter Sandman.
That's right. Good old Matt.
Yeah, lay your hands on me was from Spaceballs.
No,
Matt didn't listen to the album like he should have.
Raise your hands was
Spaceballs.
No.
Spaceballs.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Promise.
Yeah, definitely was.
All right, how's Raise Your Hands go? Raise your hands if you really
starts out
want to
that
let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I was lost for a second there. Yeah, I liked Raise Your Hands on Spaceballs.
It was good.
I liked Living on a Prayer on this album.
It was a good guitar riff in the beginning of that.
I like
remember that.
taquitos.
Yeah.
Taco? Burrito?
I remember that from Spaceballs. I liked it.
Of course.
But I didn't know that till we watched the movie that I wouldn't have remembered that.
I forgot
was
about
a Bon
that
Jovi song.
until you brought it up before about Spaceballs. Like, oh yeah, that's right.
Wait, Lay Your Hands on Me is a Bon Jovi song, correct?
That is-
100%.
All
It
right,
is
then thus the confusion.
That's on his next album.
Yeah.
the
Yes.
opening song. It is the
Yes.
first track on the New Jersey album, Zapp's favorite Bon
Yes,
Jovi
New Jersey.
album.
That's why I was in my. I like the New Jersey album, but that's why Lay Your Hands on Me was a good song.
I might be going so far as to say "The Circle" is one of my favorite Bon Jovi songs
The Circle.
or albums.
The Circle.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one,
I can't say I'm familiar with
Yeah.
that one.
and it's called
One of my
Circles.
The Circle.
Is it in the '90s though? It's not an '80s.
Oh, it's in the 2000s.
Oh Jesus! No,
Oh,
see,
absolutely.
you're
not.
jumping sharks on
Yeah,
that.
man, that's not vintage.
Yeah.
No, but I
Like,
feel
you're
like
you're dedicated.
as he
Yeah,
got
that's like a fan.
as the band grew, I think musically much better.
Oh, I agree. I certainly agree.
Crushed in the year 2000, great one. The Circle was
I have to look that up.
Thereafter.
That's like
the year the new Giant Stadium opened up.
I was looking at
MetLife.
the Grammys was on TV last night or the night before, and they were like, "Oh, Billy Joel's going to perform a new song," and I'm
After
thinking,
30 years.
I'm thinking, yeah, after like 30 years, but I'm thinking like, I mean, good for him, still making music, but you got to be a pretty diehard Billy Joel fan that like, oh, let me go and buy that Billy Joel album. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you're an artist, like you have a window of work where a lot of people maybe are into it, but you got to be a diehard fan to like just everything somebody puts out.
So what you're saying is by releasing a new album or new song, Billy Joel isn't necessarily going to add new fans.
I mean, I guess he could, but
I highly doubt that.
more than likely, it's going to be diehard Billy Joel fans that are,
Gotcha.
you know, like I'm not looking for any new Billy Joel music. I like his work, but you know, after so many years, it's just kind of like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Kudos to him to put out some new music.
Oh, absolutely, more power to
I mean,
you.
he was doing on the piano. It was the same music that he's always done. It was just
my point being, Nutley, is like for Bon
Okay, check it
Jovi,
out.
I think of it the same way. Like, I know Slippery When Wet. I know a couple of these other songs you're talking about. I'm like a casual, I don't even know if you say fan. I like a couple songs.
Sure.
But then I'm not buying a Bon Jovi album in 2003 or 2005. You know what I mean? Like, just you're a super fan.
Yeah.
Did anybody see? Did you watch where Joni Mitchell performed?
I
on the
watched a
Grammys?
little bit of the Grammys, but no, I didn't.
Okay, that was fantastic.
I did see Bon Jovi on there, I believe.
Nice.
The Grammys.
He just won a Music Cares Person of the Year
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
See, because music cares, and so does John Bon Jovi.
for his
Philanthropy.
Philandering.
Right.
It's philandering.
First philandering.
It was a pretty cool show. He had all these different people, like Sammy Hagar was up there.
Boo.
I forgot who else, but playing Bon Jovi songs.
Right.
And he's the one who said, all right, you're going to do this song. You're going to do that song. Debbie Gibson did something.
Ooh.
Bonnie
Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Tyler.
No, I'm sorry. Melissa Etheridge.
Okay, she's up there, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when you're asking Debbie Gibson to do something for you, what do you see her at the Harrisburg Mall?
Yeah.
Like,
Her
she was the
and
only one.
Tiffany.
She was the only one there while I was closing. She's
Right.
like, I had a gig tonight.
Yeah. Speaking of Debbie Gibson, I'm thinking maybe if she were to have done a song, it might have been this next song, Without Love.
Throw that one out.
This is all right. So this is the second power ballad on the album. This, in my opinion, has possibly too much keyboard. I think they could have substituted some of that keyboard with a little more guitar. There's so much keyboard in this. It sounds like a typical 80s movie soundtrack.
What's the song that I immediately confused it with Runaway in the beginning? There's one of these songs that starts out just like Runaway.
I Die For You.
I Die For You.
I
Okay.
Die For You.
Yes.
That's coming
Said
up.
I'd die for you. I'd
Okay.
cry for you.
In fact, that is the next track on this album, I Die For You. And the first bullet I have to talk about is it sounds way too much like Runaway.
Absolutely. I thought it was that song. I'm like, I thought that was like early Bon Jovi, like their first, you know what I mean? But it was
Now,
a different song.
Now, you're saying it sounds too much like Runaway because of the keyboards?
Just that part, the beginning, the intro.
The beginning.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound anything like Runaway.
So,
no. I know what you mean.
Runaway is a classic song.
Runaway is a classic song. Now, my first exposure to Bon Jovi from an album perspective was, again, New Jersey, the album subsequent to this one. So that means that I came up with a song that I think they based on this one, Born to Be My Baby. That song, as featured on New Jersey, I think they looked back at I'd Die For You, this song here that we're talking about, and said, what could we have done better? By my personal opinion. And again, if you're a Bon Jovi fan and you know anything about these two songs, you would, I would think you'd understand what I'm talking
Born
about.
to Be My Baby, though, is like, I think that's like a all-time classic.
Great song. Incredible song. I think they took
fantastic.
this
I don't know if I
song,
know that
I'd
one.
Die For You, and they said, what did we miss? What could we have done better? What could we have done with chord progression? What could we have done with crescendos or, arpeggios or any of that stuff? What could we have done better? And they did it on New Jersey.
Zap did his homework. That's good insight. I like that. That is really, never thought of it, though.
That's only because, fun fact, I hate to confess, but only recently was the first time I've ever heard this entire album.
Oh,
Only
for real?
reason for purposes of doing this recording. I'd never heard the entire album before. In fact, I had never heard this song, I'd Die For You, up until maybe a couple of days ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most of the ones on this album are on the radio if you would want to listen to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really good album.
But this song, I Die For You, is, I love it. I think it's great because, again, I loved their follow-up single that I think sounds so much like this, Born to Be My Baby, particularly about the I Die For You song here. I love the can't forget, the phrase can't forget in the chorus. So in the chorus, John is saying, in a world that don't know Romeo and Juliet, boy meets girl and promises we can't forget. So this is when you hear this group in the background say, can't forget. It's good. It's
like that.
It's powerful. It's moving. It's inspiring. It's good. I don't know.
Be careful. That's too good. We might get copyright.
I don't know. Look,
Yeah.
it's an easygoing solo, but it albeit predictable. I mean, it starts out with the standalone single notes, and then it progresses from there, and then it's crazy by the end. Again, very similar format done in Born to Be My Baby, but I think this is a great song. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'll tell you, if it weren't for, and this is a question I'd love to ask for all of us, if it weren't for the singles that were released on this album, what would be your favorite song? And in my opinion, I should say, not in my opinion, my favorite song, if it weren't for the singles, it would be I'd Die For You. It would be this song. Nutley, what do you think?
Wild in the Streets, like I said before.
Wild in the Streets. All
Favorite
right.
song on the album.
Okay.
Probably because like Living on a Prayer has been played over and I'm done with it. I love hearing it live, but like on the radio or
Yeah,
something.
you'll change. That's one of the ones you change. Like,
I'll
you know the
change it
song,
'cause
you
I've
like it, but
heard
you
it.
know the whole thing. You're just like, psh.
You get sick of it.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I'm curious now about the next song on the album, Never Say Goodbye. So this was the fourth single. Although, no, yeah, it was the fourth single. However, it was not considered it was not released domestically or as a commercially available single. That is to say, you couldn't buy the individual cassette or the individual 45 that had this song on it. Fun fact, did you know that?
Did not know that.
Did
There
not
you go.
know it.
You could not buy a taper album with just this song and then a B-side. It was not released, at least in America, that way. It might have been in the UK, but it charted anyway. But as a result, they don't get to determine or call this a single in the United States. Fun fact. On this Never Say Goodbye, love the harmony work by Sambora, as always. Catchy hook for the intro and choruses. Love it. His guitar work is incredible. Curious, Nutley, you've been to Bon Jovi shows. What is this like hearing this song at a concert? Is this their signature last song only because it is Never Say Goodbye?
No. I've seen them 19 times, and I don't think they've ever closed.
19.
19.
That's our thing.
19.
That's a lot, though.
times.
That's a lot.
Lately, Living on a Prayer is usually their closer.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
They make you wait.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
See, that's for me.
They're
I get
edging
it.
you the whole time. You
Yeah.
got to stick. Well, I want to hear my favorite song. All right.
Right.
You're going to wait till the bitter end.
Quick question for you, Nutley. From your first Bon Jovi concert you went to, what do you think your ticket price was about?
Look on there.
There we go.
Was that 1850?
1850.
1850.
No, sorry. 1650.
Dang.
Holy moly. And what do you think?
1850.
Holy moly.
Rear section, it says.
Yeah,
No,
we
that's Nutley's spot.
We
there.
weren't behind. We weren't behind the stage. We were more side, whatever.
And then the last show you went to, what do you think you paid for it?
The last Bon Jovi show. Well, I had one for when he was touring with Bryan Adams, but COVID hit, so it canceled.
Mm.
I think it was the last show was with my son. This House Is Not for Sale tour in Allentown. Couple hundred each.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm just saying that because my oldest daughter was saying she liked this Zach Bryan. I don't know if you guys heard of
I've
him.
heard,
He's
yeah, I
like
know.
a country type.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, cool, we'll get some tickets. So I went on looking for tickets. At the Bryce Jordan Center, they wanted for tickets like in the nosebleed, like $345
Dang.
for a ticket.
Look,
The
not
ones
for-
on the floor are $700.
So I got a better story for you for that. First and
You ain't
foremost, if
kidding.
anyone is not
Yeah.
familiar, the Bryce Jordan Center is pound for pound the best place to go see a concert. You're not going to pay Philly or Pittsburgh prices or Baltimore or you name it.
That's what I was figuring.
You're not going to pay Giant Center, stupid Hershey, ridiculous prices. You're going to get a quality show. They get incredible acts up there, and the price you can't beat, except when you go to see Bruce Springsteen. So I've seen Bruce Springsteen, and just recently I saw Bruce Springsteen, my wife and I. Those tickets were about $1,000 a checker.
What? At
Yeah,
Bryce Jordan?
They were about $1,000 a checker.
Damn.
Yeah.
Says here, Nutley, adult ticket, 1650. So you paid for adult, like somebody get these for you? I guess it was
No,
an
no, no, no.
all ages show.
Back
Yeah.
then, that's where the Devils used to play.
Okay, so
And
this is an indoor.
You can get a child's ticket. Like my father would take me to a Devils game, and his was X amount of dollars. Mine might have been $5.
That's what I was saying. If you were
That's
15,
the
just to
New
get-
Jersey Devils.
just
Yeah.
to get people in the door.
if you were 15, you could have knocked a couple bucks off that. You paid adult price.
Concerts don't.
That it doesn't
no,
matter.
no.
Okay,
They
I
don't
got you.
care.
I got you.
They don't care. So
But yeah, ticket prices now are insane. Like I don't
redonkulous.
I don't
I
know
think
what they
every
think
ticket
people
I have
do.
has that on there.
Okay.
Now, our final song here, Wild in the Streets.
Wow.
Certainly
Wow.
Nutley's favorite, as he's mentioned.
Wow, boys.
I think
Wait, this is Duran Duran.
I think it's a bit too happy. It reminds me of On the Dark Side from Eddie and the Cruisers. But I can guarantee you this song was absolutely made for a live show. The use of "Oh Yeah" in every bridge has got to get that crowd worked up. I'm sure Nutley can speak to that. I don't know. My overall letdown was in the song is the solo. I find it lackluster. I think the sound of his guitar is too 50s rockabilly. It's just not. It just doesn't do it for me. Again, I mean, opinions are like assholes. You know,
Everybody's got one.
yeah. So just my take on this track. But again, Nutley, I'm not.
No, yeah.
I'm not pissing in your Cheerios here, man. I want you love this track. What draws you so much to this song, or why I should say what
the upbeat,
makes it so good for you?
the upbeat sound. It's a good live song. Like there's a part in the song where because this is my hometown.
Yeah.
It says that in there. So when he's playing that at a Jersey show, whether it's Giant Stadium, wherever, anywhere in Jersey or even New York, the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah, man.
Because that's where he's from.
It's a town. They're all from that town.
Right.
It's cool.
And that's all I got.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, we this is our first one. Really wanted to dive in. We're just experimenting here, everybody. Thanks for your patience.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing everything we possibly can here to try and cover as many bases.
A couple fun facts, I guess you probably have some there too, right?
Dish it.
So did you know they had once they had 30 songs written, they went to New York and had some teens up there in New York audition for them, and the ones based on the reaction they get are the ones they picked out for this album.
Oh,
what? I'd never heard of that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So it's kind of like a screening.
that's nice.
Almost like, hey, let's play this for them and see what kind of reaction we get. Oh, they're digging that. All right, boom, that one goes on the album. I can't believe it had 30 songs written though. If it was all for this album and they took it down to what?
10.
10?
But it blows my mind.
That shit happens all the time.
How these songwriters come up with ideas and then take Elton John. Bernie Taupin would write the lyrics to a song, and then Elton John would be like, "Okay, let me read this. All right," and boom, and put music to it.
Yep.
Like it's nothing.
Yep.
Mm,
It's
true.
a talent that
Genius.
I could never imagine. I mean, so Dave, circling back to what you had mentioned, so that sort of thing happens all the time. Probably one of the greatest, for examples, is Prince. So Prince has a vault of
Oh, yeah.
hundreds and
unreleased.
hundreds and hundreds of songs that were never released.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And then he dies and they release them all
yeah,
to make money.
they'll
you know
drip.
what I mean?
They will slow drip those
Yeah,
tracks
whoever's
out
related to Prince is
to get
living
that
off the
mailbox
benefits.
money. Pearl Jam actually released a whole album of them. It's called Lost Dogs.
Mhm.
These are songs that they record for a particular album, but then they just drop off. Like the producer, like Fairburn will come in and say, save that for the next album, or
Right.
maybe just it doesn't really fit the theme of this album, and so they toss it or they throw it into the vault.
I think
and
they
maybe it'll come
put
back.
that album that Zap's talking about. I think they did a show on. I don't know if it was on like Peacock or one.
Who, Pearl Jam.
No, they released like that album for the show. Look at like all their like lost.
Pearl Jam?
Yeah, Pearl Jam.
Oh, wow.
It's some show. I don't know. It's from that album, like the unreleased Pearl Jam, but they gave it for some show. I don't know the exact name of the show.
JW, he would know. He loves
JW.
Pearl Jam. I'd have to ask him.
Pearl
I-
Jam's good.
I love Pearl Jam. I just hate Eddie Vedder. God damn it,
Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
not
that guy.
to be honest.
I hate any better.
Well, look, I
Just
just
hate him.
I like Bruce Springsteen. It's the same reason why I like and hate Bruce Springsteen. It's the exact same reasons. It's all political and it's all bullshit, but it's still a thing. Like, just do your goddamn job, right?
Mm.
Just sing and entertain. I don't need to hear your input. I don't need to hear what you think about current events. Just sing, for Christ's sake.
I agree with you 100% there. But I'm going to a show or something. I don't care about your politics,
Right.
what have you.
But see, that's the
But
fuel for the fire.
I can
there.
separate the two. I've known people that Bon Jovi leans one way,
Sure.
and they will. Oh no, forget it. So why would I? I enjoy the music. Why am I going to deprive myself of that just because of his political views?
Precisely.
I don't care.
Same reason I went to see Springsteen recently and spent almost $1,000 a fucking checker.
Mm.
Now he leans one way, and I don't care. But don't say it. Don't throw it down my throat at a concert.
Oh, agreed.
Mm.
That drives me crazy.
That's what she said.
How is Bruce live?
Dun, 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 dun.
What's that? Bruce Springsteen?
Bruce Springsteen live. I'm pretty sure it's just like his album. Like I don't see anything really changing. Like
Oh, how is Springsteen live?
yeah, like
my
it's,
God.
Amazing.
It's a spot on like the album though. Like he doesn't really
is-
change shit up. Just
it
like
is-
does his thing.
It is spot on.
That's
It's-
awesome.
it's
See, I like that.
Number one, it's like you're listening to the song right off the album.
No,
Number two,
I like that.
his voice has not changed. It is incredible. But I think the most incredible thing about seeing a Bruce Springsteen show,
Say it.
it doesn't stop.
Oh,
The
yeah.
songs are back to back. There is
It's like
no
a banger,
break.
a back
There's
to
no
back banger.
solos. There's no long pauses.
It's one song stops, and as you hear and watch the drummer like hitting all the cymbals, like it's like the ending of a song that you would think it's like thank you, good night, we love you all, right? So the drummer's going crazy and going crazy.
And then right into the next song.
Every
Yep.
song will start with
Nice.
2, 3, 4, and then the next song comes on, and it's same thing. It'll end with the drum going crazy, 2, 3, 4, and then it's the next song. Like it is
and he's in
unbelievable.
his 70s and he's
Correct.
playing over 3 hours.
He does not stop. I'm sorry, Nutley. What were you going to say?
And
The thing about a Springsteen show.
you don't see the same show twice.
Correct. Everyone is
He
different.
will,
That's correct.
You go see him this night, all right, and then 2 nights later, it's a different set list. They might have he has the staple songs that all right, we're going to play this every single night, but he switches them up.
See, I saw Bob Dylan in Newport like I was probably 19, 20 years old at the Newport Folk Festival, and he played his music like it was like you were listening to an album. I seen him again maybe 10 years ago in Penn State. It wasn't at Bryce Jordan. It was like a small theater. I think I paid a shit ton for the tickets, but nobody knew what in the hell the guy was singing. It was not even that. Like the songs, like we never even heard these songs. Like,
He's playing whatever.
Never got into him.
but he was like an hour and a half of that, and I was like, what the hell did I pay for? But it's like you live and learn, man.
Isn't Bob Dylan one of them?
I don't know.
Isn't he one of them guys that writes like really good songs, but just maybe not the best singer? Like, you know what I mean? Like he wrote some songs that other people have taken and remade.
Well, yeah, like Hendrix took Watchtower and things like that. Yeah,
it is true. So many look at Bob
he's a
Dylan.
songwriter.
He is a poet. And
Yes.
he's this, that, and the other thing. Great. Just don't sing it to me. Christ,
Right.
I think I'd rather hear a train rolling over my own head than listen to Bob Dylan.
Mm-hmm. His son wasn't bad though. Wallflower, that one song I liked.
That's one song. Though.
His son,
Yeah.
His son had one song.
He had a good voice. Decent
he did.
voice.
One headlight.
One headlight. Yeah.
Mhm.
One song, one headlight.
Exactly.
Did you know what this album was going to be called? Maybe, possibly.
I do not.
Not New Jersey.
Rocky When Dry.
No, they were considering calling it Wanted Dead or Alive, and even had a cover made. And they were dressed up as cowboys.
Interesting.
But
Was Bon Jovi in any cowboy movies?
Was John Bon Jovi in any cowboy?
Yeah, because
movie?
he was an actor for a while. I mean, he still does act, but I don't know if he because he was so into cowboy
Saying
movies.
he was acting. What did he act in? Like
I
that I
don't-
would know.
Was he?
He was in Sex in the City. He was in like a bunch of episodes of
Oh,
that.
okay,
He was in
okay.
like some sitcoms. He played like love interest in like a lot of
Oh, okay,
movies.
I got
As
you, I
Nutley
got you.
pointed out earlier, he was in U-571.
Is that the tank?
no?
or the,
That's a
submarine.
Submarine one.
Sorry,
Yep.
yes, I mean submarine.
His first movie, I think, was Rudolph and Valentino. I think that was his first screen.
that comes out during Christmas.
Yeah,
I think that's the name of the movie. Back in the 80s.
Rudolph and
But
Valentino.
was he-
Yeah, that's the Spanish version of Living on a Prayer. Instead of Tommy and Gina.
Rudolph and Valentino?
Yeah.
So now I got to look that up.
Yeah, it's all right. Oh, a fun fact. Dave the Snake Sabo.
Sabo,
Sabo.
Skid Row.
Correct. Was John Bon Jovi's longtime friend and neighbor. They actually had a pact. They promised each other that whoever made it first, like whoever really made it first, would help out the other. So, as you may or may not recall, Skid Row came out long after Bon Jovi had been known, actually, and it was actually thanks to John that Sabo went on to form Skid Row.
Nice.
Yeah, they've been friends since they were 18. Now they're friends for life.
18 to life. Yeah, you got it.
You
I actually
know?
saw a thing here. I was watching a little thing on Bon Jovi. And I guess his uncle worked at the power station, they said, growing up.
In New York
And
City.
he
Recording studio.
recording studio, and he was like doing kind of like janitor work there when he was
Yeah.
real young, and it was enabled him to get like studio time
Sure.
and to rub elbows with like professionals and stuff, and he really got to see, the business from that angle, and it kind of helped him with his career. But I guess when he did that Runaway, he didn't have a band or anything. He didn't have a producer or agent or anything.
He had all studio dudes help him to do his original recording of Runaway.
And he put that out, and it got play on the radio, right?
Yep.
And ended up on a compilation or something.
Mhm.
And then that's how he got his record
Of
deal.
local bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought
Wait,
it was
what
pretty
was
wild.
the place called? The power station?
It was in New York, yeah.
Wasn't whose band was that in the power station?
Robert
Palmer.
Robert Palmer. Yeah.
Robert Palmer, yeah.
Yep.
That's that Robert Plant.
Fun fact about Runaway.
Go for it.
When he wrote that and he had studio band members.
Yeah.
The bass player for the original Runaway is Hugh McDonald.
Oh, from SNL.
That bass player later circled back around to
Who
take
is
what's his name's place.
Alec John Such.
That's it. Alec John
place.
Such's
After
place.
he left,
Yep.
it's Hugh McDonald, full circle.
Yeah,
Nice. How
that's
about
cool.
that?
So
Which is a great album, by the way, The Circle.
thank
Circle
you
got to check. 2000.
thank you for bringing that up, Nutley.
Circle.
And I was wrong. It's not Rudolph and Valentino. It's Midnight and Valentino.
Mm.
Mhm.
The first Bon Jovi.
Don't
movie he
cry
was
for
in.
me, Valentino.
Yeah.
The truth is.
So, Nutley, when Such left the band, was he kicked out or did he quit?
I wasn't there.
Okay.
I really don't know. Allegedly,
Allegedly.
he was let go that he couldn't play bass parts.
Yeah. Well, I know that
you hear different stories. You don't know what to believe.
his original bass part on As Chance Would Have It, Living on a Prayer, was re-recorded by Hugh McDonald.
McDonald.
I mean, that speaks volumes. And I remember when he either quit or was fired, that was one of the big, the poignant things. Like, he's a shitty bass player, or, you know what, you're so bad, we had somebody else re-record your stuff on so many albums, you didn't even know about it. You don't even know.
I don't even know.
So, it's he said, she said, tomato, tomato. But
he made bank.
He sure did. He makes it every month.
Rest in peace.
Every month that check comes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about?
What you got, Nutley? Any fun facts?
Nah, I think that's it.
I got one here.
Give it to me.
So I was looking up Slippery When Wet.
Mm.
Don't ask your kids to look that up.
Bad stuff came up. No. Did you know there was an early song by the Commodores called Slippery When Wet?
I did not know
Lionel
that.
Richie, yeah.
Ooh.
It was a song about married men and and the dangers of having affairs.
So
and,
that's right.
Slippery when wet.
messing up and all that, yeah.
It's a slippery slope for sure.
Hanging loose may be out of sight, but it just ain't right.
Out of sight.
Best to stay faithful and take care of the home front.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was in 1975 from the album called In the Act
By the Commodores.
by the Commodores, and actually charted in 19. I looked it up and checked it out. It's kind of funky, man. Good track.
Well, yeah, the Commodores very funky.
Yeah, Lionel Richie.
You know it's
Hey,
funky.
you think those guys know the Commodores?
Yeah, what's that from?
Vacation.
Vacation, that's right. When they're in the back.
Oh my God, that's right.
When they're in St. Louis or something,
Yeah.
they're writing honky lips on the car and everything.
Hey, you think those guys know the Commodores?
I had a Commodore 64 growing up.
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
cool.
Vintage gaming review.
Ooh, one of these days. One of these days.
Hey, Dad, are we lost? This is a part of the city you never see. It's good plight. Roll them up.
Hey,
Yep.
jeez.
No, you said about Lionel Richie. I just saw on Netflix that thing about making the We Are the World.
Oh, I want to see
You
that.
got to check that out. I'm only halfway in, and it is cool. Like, they were saying how to get all these
Super.
egos in a room like that.
Including Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan was there. Huey Lewis, like Tina Turner, just
Springsteen.
yeah, Springsteen was there. Tons.
And they're all doing it for free, right?
Yeah, they were all doing it for free, but Lionel Richie was the one tasked by Quincy Jones to come up with this thing, and they were like, "Who's big?" So he's like, "I'll call Michael Jackson."
You know, there'd be one dickhead there that was like, "How much are we getting for this?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably Sting.
You
He's
think?
a dickhead.
Maybe.
Nah, he wasn't part of We Are.
No, Sting wasn't in there.
You sure about
No,
that?
because
No.
this was. I thought this was like American singers.
Yeah,
No, it's We Are the World. I think he was
I'm
there.
thinking
was Sting there? I
You're
didn't see-
watching the
no,
goddamn show.
Yeah, they didn't have him in there yet. If he's in there,
He's in there.
the part was where Lionel's trying to work with Michael Jackson, and he's like, and then Lionel Richie's doing. He's like, so Michael's like to me, he's like, Lionel, do you want to hold Bubbles? And Lionel
Bubbles the
Richie's
monkey?
Yeah, and Lionel Richie's like, I don't want to hold no damn monkey. We got to work on a song, man.
He was
Oh,
told,
no damn monkey.
that's
And
funny.
Lionel's like, he's like, relax, Lionel. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, there was something too with Michael. He doesn't work like normal. Like, he doesn't read music and all that.
Yeah,
Ever hear-
he hums. He doesn't
he's
know
all
any
right.
music, so he's like, dum da la dee doo doo doo.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Mike, we like that.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. I've heard numerous people say this We Are the World documentary. I gotta check it out.
I'm like 30 minutes in, and it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Is that
it's very
on
good.
Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll
check
get
that out,
there.
people.
But back to this, the Slippery When Wet. Nutley Nick, thank you so much for recommending this album. It definitely one that a rock album from the 80s that I actually do remember kind of listening to. Bon Jovi's not my favorite. I like some of their tracks. I know you love them.
Oh yeah,
And,
big fan.
yeah. I thought you loved this album. I don't know why.
Nope.
I thought maybe when we were just talking about,
I love the
putting
New
this
Jersey
together.
album, not this one.
yeah. And Matt, I didn't know where you were at with this. Because you
Oh no,
surprise me sometimes with your, like, I never knew you were into Cinderella. back
the
then.
Cinderella's
Yeah.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm way
But
off
you're talking about the
sometimes.
band, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
From Philly.
Not, the movie's okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, the band.
Oh, I love Cinderella.
Pat's chili dogs.
But no, I've always liked Bon Jovi. Like I'm pretty much, I'm good with like music. I like music, any kind of music really.
Yeah.
And like I said, New Jersey's probably the better album. But if you're going off of like stuff you hear on the radio, which we all grew up like by that, we're not really at 9, 10, 11 years old going out buying our own records. You know what I mean?
No.
Right.
So the stuff you hear on the radio is the stuff that sticks with you as a kid. But I remember all these songs on the radio, and I just think it's a good album.
Yep.
So we always do.
Nutley really let it rock on
He
this
did
one.
let it ride. We always do late fee, return, or burn. So I don't know if we should. Have
Wait, are we doing that with?
I don't know if we should do something like this without. Are you putting tape over the, the top of the cassette that you're not over?
Or you could put in your two strips of
what was that
tape on
thing?
it.
Where you could record over.
Yeah.
If you,
Yeah.
Cassette
Yeah.
tapes.
Yeah.
is that if you taped over
Yeah.
a commercial tape? You
Yeah.
could tape on it.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
notches were popped out, so you couldn't record over it. If you taped over it, you could.
Well, like a
Right.
borrow, keep, or record.
I should say, to
Yeah.
be clear, if you put Scotch tape or some kind of something over top of where the two little notches were. then you could
Overdub or
record.
scrub.
Yep. Overdubs.
Nice.
No, just if you liked it, or if if it was one of your okay ones, I don't know.
We'll have to work on a review. for
Yeah,
Is
that.
this,
we don't-
is this like toss it out the window? Is it listen once, or is it repeat?
Right,
somehow
right.
Somehow we have to correlate
We'll
that.
come up with that.
Yeah.
I like this one. I'd probably
It's
keep
not
it.
something I would put on repeat like over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the
This
thing.
is
So
weird.
when we do this for movies, we have to take the concept of the ability to get this music out of, or that movie out of our heads. This is so in the movie, it's put yourself in the place of if you're going to rent this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the idea that you can stream it. Forget the idea that you've seen it a zillion times. What would happen if you were watching this like your first time and you were renting it? So in this case, think if you had the cassette, like you're not streaming the tracks, you're not doing this. Sure, there are singles, and I get that, and sure I would think that counts. It's just a matter of, from that perspective, regardless of streamability and all of that stuff, would you go ask for your money back? Would you keep it? Would you love it so much you'd tape it for your friends? Like, I don't know.
Buy, copy, or droppy.
Nice.
Like copy or droppy.
Yeah,
Nice.
like you're gonna buy it, you're gonna copy it off somebody, you're gonna drop it out the window.
There you go.
How's that?
I like it.
So, I'd say for me, I'm gonna copy this one.
I would buy it.
Zap's buying it.
Oh yeah, I'm buying it. Hell, I did.
He
Twice.
did buy it. Yeah.
Twice.
I think I got it for like 3 cents on that thing you used to get as a kid, and your mom be like, "Where all these friggin' tapes come
Columbia
from?"
House. Yeah. Well, in that
But yeah,
case,
I remember the first time I had that was one of the albums. I don't know. Wait, was it New Jersey or? I don't know. It's tough to call. I don't know if it was New Jersey or
this one.
it was Slippery When Wet or New Jersey. I don't know, but I got a Bon Jovi one from the publisher, whatever it was called.
So you would buy it
I'd buy
for
it
3 cents.
for 3 cents.
Yeah.
No, it's a good album. Like all these songs, like a majority of these songs are all radio songs. They're all fun to like I said, the harmonies, everything's fun to sing to, the whoas and the
Yeah.
uh-ohs, and
Definitely a catch.
it's
definitely a lot of
fun. It's a
tracks.
catchy album.
Yep.
I mean, some albums are stinkers. Like you know, when you were a kid, you bought like a thing. You're sitting there, fast forwarding for
Arrested Development.
20 seconds just
Yeah.
to,
That
get
was
to
a
another song.
big letdown
Yeah.
from the hip hop world.
And apparently their new album's coming out this April.
Arrested Development.
No,
No,
Bon Jovi.
JBJ, man.
Okay. John Bon Jovi or Bon Jovi.
Hugh
Bon
McDon-
Jovini.
Hugh
Jovi.
McDonald's wife said it's awesome. She
Nice,
said
nice.
something. So.
Jovi's cousin's uncle's roommate said
Hugh
it's the best,
McDonald, he's the bass
the
player.
best album he's heard
Yeah.
since
Surely,
Led Zeppelin 3.
surely
Hey,
she's not biased.
No.
Nah, not at all. It probably is awesome.
But yeah, I think we're doing okay with this. Like I want everybody, if you're out there listening, give us some
Feedback.
pointers, some feedback, what you want to hear. Like
Wait,
like I said, this is our first one, so
NutleyNick@yahoo.com.
Nutley Nick.
Nutley
Did you get that?
Nick.
Did you lock that one down?
No, but I'm
I
going
know
to.
he was going to try lock it
WVandme@yahoo.com.
on a Facebook page.
I'm going to.
Nutley Nick.
After all
Yeah,
after everyone gets return receipts for the mail not going through.
that's right.
Yeah, but by the time this gets out, it'll be up.
Yeah.
This is a week out.
Nutley at Yahoo at PO Box.
They're
Well,
going to do that.
Hawk, you better lock down Hawk at Yahoo.
Yeah.
If anyone's not taken. So
What does Hawk want to do?
did
we'll,
he? Did
we'll
he
find
mention-
out.
We'll find out.
No, is there
find
any? Do we know of any? Is there some
We-
inside stuff?
We will find out.
Inside edition?
We will find out.
Okay.
We'll have to.
Ooh, can we get a genre?
We'll
knows.
find out.
Okay.
I already gave you some suggestions. Appetite for Destruction, the Black Album.
Oh yeah, but this would be a guest-driven.
Yeah, this is a get.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anybody out there, if you have an album that you want reviewed, NutleyNick@yahoo.com.
Yeah. Do that, and he'll pass it along.
That's the thing too. Like, is this going to be like a guest-driven thing? I think that would be cool to have.
It's guest-driven because it's
100%.
it's
we'll have like the fourth guy in on this one. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, it's your album. You give us what you like about it.
Yep.
right.
Cool. Very cool.
But Nutley, man, you the man. One of our biggest fans, and
Nutley.
listen
Coming
to
up next is the Black Album by
Jesus
Metallica.
Christ.
We appreciate you, everything you do, all the promotion, putting our business cards up everywhere, liking all our posts, spreading the word. I mean, I would say you're up there with Officer Vince for sure, for fan.
We appreciate you.
Scuba Steve.
Super
Yeah,
fans.
he gets jealous of Officer Vince.
We
but-
appreciate
I
you.
do
Yeah.
not get jealous of Officer Steve.
But I guess Officer Steve, he messes it up all the time. But I guess that's it, right, fellas? Anything else?
No, that was fun. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
Nolly.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Album Review in the Old Dirty Basement. You can find us and our theme music from the Tsunami Experiment on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your music and your podcast. Don't forget to leave that 5-star rating on Spotify. And I guess that's it for now, so we'll catch you where?
On the flip side,
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
peace.